If you've been around my channel for at least a year, you know what I'm about to show you is some good news.
Convicted of killing a retired St. Louis police officer, headed back to court late summer. This afternoon, a jury found Stefan Cannon guilty on all 6 counts against him. Tonight, the family of David Dorn feeling peace over a decision they've waited more than 2 years for. David Emilotti reports on this case that gained national attention. David?
Yeah, a clash of emotions today in the courtroom as Judge Burke read Cannon guilty on all charges. Family got up and stormed out of the courtroom. We could hear one young woman shouting uncontrollably at one point. Ann Dorn says no one wins in this case. She's still without her husband tonight, and now a family is without their brother.
It was relief.
Ann Dorn, surrounded by friends and loved ones, hugging and crying because she says justice was served for her late husband.
I heard the murder first guilty, and that's what I was hoping for, and that's what I asked for. And when I heard that, that's all I needed to hear after that.
The prosecution worked extremely hard. They gave a really good fight.
The case prosecutors built, ending with a jury convicting Stefan Cannon of first-degree murder, plus 5 other counts in the June 2020 killing of retired St. Louis police captain David Dorn. The jury reached its decision in roughly 3 hours, the circuit attorney's office releasing a statement. It says in part, while nothing can bring Captain Dorn back to his loved ones, Mr. Cannon has been held accountable for his crimes committed in the city of St. Louis, and justice has been served.
And it was just undoubtable that he was guilty. So we're happy of the outcome, and we look forward to moving on and our dad resting in peace.
You know, this whole week felt like we relived the moment, and so now hopefully, like you said, closure is in order.
This wasn't Cannon's first run-in with the law. In 2019, Cannon was released from probation on a 2013 robbery and assault. In 2020, he was slapped with another charge, accused of using fake money to steal an Xbox that February. The night Dorn was killed, Cannon was trying to rob a pawn shop.
He should have never been on the street for this to happen. He should have been in jail, and hopefully during sentencing that'll be considered.
Now, Cannon will return to the court for his sentence hearing on September 13th. Talked with defense attorney Brian Hornire, just a couple of hours ago. He's telling me that he will appeal, but beyond that, no comment. We also know in the last couple of hours, going through court documents, we were able to find out that key witness in this case, Mark Jackson, will be returning for a hearing of his own tomorrow morning.
And David, we have heard from some of our viewers tonight asking if the death penalty is an option for Cannon. What have you learned about that?
So Ann Dorn says that she is not seeking the death penalty. She says that she's known for quite some time that would not be an option for this case. And she says a life sentence is good enough for her. As far as the city of St. Louis, there is no law specifically on the books about the death penalty. Missouri does allow it. Live in downtown, David Emilotti, News 4.
Here's why it's good news. It's because for as long as I can remember, this organization BLM has constantly went along with the narrative that, hey, we got to fight white supremacy. Hey, we got to fight police brutality. Hey, all these things that the white supremacists do to black people, we got to contest that because Black Lives Matter. And I used to honestly believe that these people cared about black lives until I got a little older and until I realized, no, it's not really about black lives. It's only about the ones that go along with the narrative of white supremacy, white racists, or police brutality. If it isn't one of those 3 things, nobody cares. You just had a woman a few days ago screaming at protesters because they were coming to the defense of somebody who shot into her apartment and could have killed her or her kids, and the only reason they was protesting for him is because he got sniped by police officers and they went around crying that he was unarmed and had a mental issue.
Idols, because you guys are celebrating his life.
It was a terror. I'm sure it was a terror.
This is not okay. Not okay.
You're alive.
Okay.
Shut up.
You guys need to just let it go. Grief in silence. This is not okay. This is not a George Floyd situation. George Floyd was unarmed. He was unarmed.
You're alive. I'm sorry.
This is not okay. My kids have to deal with this and probably have a mental illness now because they almost lost their life. There's bullet holes in my kitchen because he sat in the fucking hallway watching my move.
This family wishes this never happened.
I wish it never happened either. That I don't have a place to call home. I can't sleep that night.
going through a moment.
This is not okay.
This is what they want to show on the TV. It's obviously going through a moment.
This is not okay. Just go home. Go home. Because none of you guys knocked on that man's door to check his health.
Shut up. He come to my house. Shut up, nigga. You're
No, you guys did not come. He did not. You guys did not come and visit me. This is not the time. This is not the time for the place. It wasn't. This is not. It don't matter. It don't matter. Get away from me. Get away. No, because you think it's okay to get in my kid's in the car. My kid's in the car. My black kid is in the car. He tried to kill me in front of my kids. He tried to kill me in front of my kids. He tried to kill me in front.
Yarbrough showed up.
If I would have died, would he be a bad guy then? For 3 years I lived here, and none of you guys knocked on that man's door to see if he was okay. Not at all. He played loud music every day to cope with his mindset.
Yarbrough says she's the woman who initially called police stating Tekle was shooting into her apartment with her 2 kids inside Wednesday night. Pictures of bullet holes from inside her apartment capturing the damage.
It's sorry he lost his life, but he has 6 hours to choose that. I had 2 to 5 minutes to choose life or death.
Yarbrough says she had a few run-ins with Tekle and thought their differences were settled.
When someone is stalking you, threatening you, I left it alone. I could have called the police and reported it, but then I would have put a black innocent man in jail because of mental illness, and ain't no telling what would have happened. So I left it alone.
I don't understand how people could cheer and protest for that, but nobody made so much as a sound for David Dorn. His close family did it. The people in his camp did it. I didn't see Patrice Cullors talk about David Dorn. I didn't see Ben Crump make a tweet about David Dorn. And if I'm wrong, please show it to me. Honestly, I don't want to say that and make it seem like I'm being mean or I'm being some asshole who's just trying to make a point. I'm saying if they did it, please show it to me. I didn't see many of this because I only saw them focusing on 2 names, maybe even 3. George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, and maybe even a 3rd name. It's weird how an organization that claims to care about all these black lives and making sure they matter doesn't step up when a black life is taken by a black life. It's really funny to me how some people could get mad at me for pointing out that about 4, maybe 5 black teenagers rob a white woman, jack her car, and it leads to her dying. It's weird how 2 black women, I think at the time, rob somebody out of their car, crash it, and the owner of that car dies, and you got people DMing others talking about you can't share that because it ruins the reputation of black women. It is going to fucking ruin my psyche for the next few months that the same organization and people that like to say, oh, there's no such thing as black on black crime, there's no such thing as that, it's only white on black, we can only make it racial if it's white versus black, are the same people that didn't make a fucking sound for 8 black teenagers beating a black old man to death. So at the end of the day, for as much criticism as this organization and the words get, you got to understand something. People not doing that with malice intent. They're seeing something. They're expecting an organization that claims to care to start caring, and they don't. So that makes them realize, hey, this organization ain't nothing but a bunch of money laundering motherfuckers who are desperate to get people, play on their emotions, and spend all that fucking money on dumb shit that don't benefit the black community. I don't care how much you want to sit there and say, oh my God, a content creation house is gonna do wonders. I don't care how much you want to say this, that, and the third is gonna benefit the black community. We have in-house issues that a lot of these leaders don't want to address. And it's a damn shame that a man having to defend his own friend's store from a bunch of rioters who don't care about George Floyd, who don't care about Breonna Taylor, who never cared about David Dorn, who never cared about any of these black lives that have been lost that you don't know about, seemingly thought it was okay to take a man's life, and nobody really made a ruckus about it. The only people that made a ruckus about it were the conservative coons you hate so much. Why? Because unlike the majority of the people you claim care about black lives, they actually do, and they wanted to get that word out. But for some reason, it mind boggled y'all that they also criticize BLM. So at the end of the day, I will continue to say it until I die. Fuck BLM. Subscribe to the channel. I'll see y'all in the next one. Goodbye.